Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the cage our next contestant this evening, representing Magnolia MMA, Braden Spencer.
Here comes Braden Spencer, fighting out of Old Magnolia MMA in Old Magnolia, Texas. That doesn't sound like a real place to me.
You know what? I live in Texas, and I couldn't tell you where Old Magnolia is. It doesn't sound like a real place to me either, but
good old Magnolia.
Braden Spencer is as real as it gets.
Absolutely. This fight contested in the flyweight division, a weight class that really wasn't a thing that long ago in the grand scheme of things, and now we're starting to see a lot of talent. You mentioned the flyweight champion of the UFC comes from Texas. I don't know if Josh Van knows where Old Magnolia is, but he's doing big things for Texas, and this gentleman hopes to do big things as well.
Absolutely. And, yeah, Joshua Van, you know, he's really set Myanmar on fire. You know, it's a small country that now has a champion, but a lot of people forget because of that he is native to this area of the country, as we'll say. And flyweight, as you mentioned, TJ, is better than it's ever been, in my opinion. And I'm a purist for Demetrius Johnson in his heyday. I think he's one of the best of all time. But he really kind of competed in an era where there weren't as many people that could contend with him. Right now, flyweight is hot, not just in the highest levels, but on the regional scene as well.
Once upon a time, I called a fight between the best two flyweights in the world, and it was in a parking lot of a casino in California. Now the best two flyweights in the world, they fight in the UFC, and we're getting the future of two young gentlemen who hope to be on that stage relatively soon. Braden Spencer ready to go here tonight in Lake Charles.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent makes his way to the cage, representing Gladiators Academy of Youngsville, Anderson Sellers.
Anderson Sellers making the walk, also his amateur debut, and it's always fun. Like, you think about the amount of tape study that goes into the highest level of mixed martial arts. These guys can't even look at tape because it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, and that's the best way to surprise your opponent with something they don't see coming. You know, this young man was nice enough to give me a few minutes of his time, and we talked. I saw him warming up in the cage just before we started here, and he's very excited to make his MMA debut. And I saw him before, you know, he took the shirt off. He's this tall figure. And I said, what weight class do you fight in? And he goes, flyweight. And he saw my eyes open up, and he goes, his coach said, I know he's probably the tallest flyweight you'll ever see. I don't know. We'll see the tail of the tape here in a second. But this young man's got to be a 6-foot-tall flyweight.
Speaking of tail tape, let's take a look at it for this flyweight fight. 18 years old is Braden Spencer, 11 years younger than his opponent, Anderson Sellers, 6'1". For Sellers. That is a tall 125-pound fighter. For the official introductions, let's get it back to Colin Cantrell.
Ladies and gentlemen, our third fight of the evening is being brought to us by Buffalo Wild Wings of Lake Charles, the home of official ceremonial weigh-ins and face-off. Buffalo Wild Wings, Lake Charles. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is scheduled for 3 rounds of 3 minutes each in the Ragin FC Amateur Flyweight Division. Introducing first on my right, fighting out of the Benoit blue corner. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing at 123 1/2 pounds. Is making his debut this evening, fighting out of Magnolia, Texas, by way of Houston, Texas, Braden the Future Spencer. And across the cage on my left, fighting out of the Cajun AC red corner. He stands 6 feet 1 1/2 inches tall, weighing at 124 1/2 pounds. Also making his debut this evening and fighting out of Youngsville, Louisiana, Anderson Wardell Sellers. Referee in charge of the action, Ramsey Ishak.
Ramsey Ishak getting the assignment here. 3 3-minute rounds in the flyweight division.
Boy, both of these young men look like they are ready to go. There's so much energy at flyweight, it's crazy.
We are underway.
Oh, big knockdown right out of the gate for Sellers.
He immediately switches into grappling as Spencer works this single leg.
Really good way to handle that, what appeared to be a flash knockdown. Give himself a second to recover, work the grappling.
Crawling up the body here is Spencer.
It's so funny you mentioned earlier how, and he doesn't fully have it, but the Habib leg lockdown, when we first saw him do that, we were all like, what is that? We didn't even know what it was, and now we see it, you know, 2 fights in a row.
Yeah, I mean, things rip through the MMA world very quickly when effective techniques are shown. And that ride has definitely been a point of emphasis for a lot of wrestlers. Trying to give up his back now here as Sellers eating some hard right hands.
Spencer working to take the back here, looking to sink that rear naked choke in. Good job on the 2-on-1 there for Sellers to keep that choking hand away from him.
Trying to turn and get away.
Sellers looking to break off those hooks that Spencer has on him.
Trying to work that body triangle, switches it off to the other side.
And Spencer does have that body triangle locked in. So far, no real danger of the choke. Sellers has done a good job defending the 2-on-1, keeping those hands away from his neck.
Able to get a base underneath him here is Sellers. Now trying to work some ground and pound, maybe thinking about sitting off of that arm bar, but now he's upright. Got to make sure he doesn't grab onto the fence.
Heavy shots coming down from Mount there for Spencer. Sellers did a good job of turning, but he gave up his back again.
Really battling for position here on the ground. Spencer comes out on top once again.
I'm impressed with the transition ability of this young kid, Spencer. He's able to transition from mount to back control pretty seamlessly.
He's doing so against a really tall, lengthy individual, and that can play some chaos on the floor as well. Hard to control a guy that, trying to go for an arm triangle here from bottom position. Time runs out.
It was funny, TJ, when he was trying to lock up that body triangle, he was going on the hips of Sellers, and it looked like he was almost, his legs weren't almost even long enough to grab it, and so he kind of adjusted and brought his feet up a little bit. But a 6'1" flyweight is just not something you see every day.
Absolutely not. If 6'1" wasn't tall enough, I'll have you know that Sellers was introduced as 6 feet 1 1/2 inches tall.
You got to count that half an inch.
Usually you see that half-inch call that guys that stand like 5'8", but, 1 1/2 inch tall with the 6 feet. And we saw a lot of punishment here on the floor. Spencer tried to add it up with some ground and pound, and a tough customer is Sellers. Was able to get through, and we're headed into round number 2. This fight started in the first round with a bit of a flash knockdown. We'll see how it continues here at the start of round number 2.
Yeah, aside from that flash knockdown, that was about all the success that Sellers had in that round. He spent most of it trying to defend good top position and back position of Spencer.
Trying to go back to that takedown here is Spencer.
Good sprawl there by Sellers. Spencer pulling him into his guard, looking to invert here. Working the rubber guard, actually.
I mean, you look at a guy like Sellers, you think he'd be the rubber guard player, but now hunting an armbar here is Spencer.
And Sellers looking to work some grappling initiatives of his own.
Spencer maybe trying to hunt for a leg here. Where do you begin to try to lock that leg up?
Dangerous game if you don't have it when you're on bottom position like that. As you saw, Sellers was able to land some hammer fists.
Trying to get that heel hook. He's all twisted up here in the grappling department. Trying to hunt that back once again.
Sellers looking for that rear naked choke of his own.
And that's the thing, it's nice to get the hooks in, but if you can wrap up the neck, it is something that you can finish without having complete control of the back, but unable to do so now. See if Spencer can try to roll in top position.
Good adjustment there for Spencer.
Half butterfly guard here. Now a closed guard for Sellers.
Sellers doing a decent job of keeping Spencer's posture broken, and he's looking for the rubber guard himself. Good posture up with some punching there for Spencer.
A couple of shots got a reaction from Sellers. See what the mindset is here in the final 30 seconds. Trying to go for buggy choke, maybe?
Interesting positioning here as we come to the conclusion of the second.
I don't know if I've seen a buggy choke from the full guard, but when you're that tall, you've got some length. You can use it to unorthodox techniques.
Yeah, those lanky guys have things at their disposal, but that the rest of us just don't have.
Braden Spencer gets up and walks to his corner after giving a wink. He feels confident. Saw a little bit more offense from Anderson Sellers in that round. Stephen Barnhill walk us through some of the action.
Yeah, just really good back and forth round, a little bit more even than the first round was. I like that both guys had their moments on the feet. Both guys, you know, have hunted subs in this fight. We've seen kind of the full gamut of their skill set, and it's pretty close going into the third round. I know we've said it a couple of times already, and we're early into the broadcast, but good matchmaking. All of the matches tonight have been very, very evenly matched, and let's just say you don't always see that on the regional scene.
But it just speaks to the quality of these amateurs as well. I mean, you used to not know what you were getting when you see amateur MMA, and you're seeing young future pros in the making here, and the level of technique and ability displays that.
Absolutely.
Third and final round about to get underway between these flyweights. Braden Spencer in the black, Anderson Sellers in the white. Good kick to the body there.
Ooh, nice lead knee by Sellers there.
Trying to get another takedown here is Spencer.
Use the outside leg chip to get that double there, and beautiful take to mount for Spencer.
Action right in front of us here.
Let's hope we don't lose our camera again.
We're not that pretty. We could lose another camera. It's fine. Really keeping the pressure down here is Spencer. Maybe hunting for that head and arm choke and able to use that wall to scramble.
Beautiful reversal, and then some serious punches from top position for Sellers, but he's still in somewhat of a now he's out. He was in danger of an armbar there for a second.
The ebb and flow of this match is back and forth. Able to get back in top position here is Spencer. Trying to go for that guillotine. Can't really see it from our angle. There we go. not in a full guard.
Yeah, Spencer's just kind of comfortable in that half guard position. The guillotine is really not a threat there. And half guard in MMA is actually a pretty decent position for ground and pound. It's not one that you really need to have an urgency to transition out of unless you're, not having success with the strikes.
Another reverse of position here as Sellers is able to get in top. And we've seen Spencer on bottom, and every time he's trying to hunt for something.
Sellers is wiry, man. He does not give up that bottom position very easily.
Inside the final minute of the fight. Oh, hard right hand gets through. Got a reaction out of Spencer.
Got him to move, and Sellers coming on strong at the end of this fight.
Now 30 seconds remain. Able to get back to a closed guard. See, every time he's in that full guard, he's opening, trying to cut an angle.
Yeah, Sellers needs to posture up here and just land a few more big shots to try to put an exclamation point on this round, because I think this has been his round.
It's been the strongest round of the fight for Anderson Sellers as we go the distance.
Nice little sportsmanship between the two. That was a great fight. Fun
Absolutely.
Fight.
Sellers a bit frustrated with his performance. Braden Spencer doing a bit of a victory lap. He believes he has done enough. Let's take a look at some of the action. Stephen Barnhill, that was a beautiful knee.
That knee was nasty, man. Spencer ate that one very well, and he's very good with his wrestling. Even in the first round when he got rocked right out of the gate, he went straight to his wrestling, was able to use that. That seems to be his bread and butter. And even in the face of adversity, whether it's eating a big knee or getting cracked with a flash knockdown, he's able to go to that and almost flip that switch. So really impressed with that. Very good job, but Sellers is tough as an old leather boot, man. He hung in there till the end.
Judges doing their math. Pair of very talented flyweights putting on a show for all 9 minutes that they were allowed to work. And I think I'd enjoy seeing both of these men in the future.
Absolutely.
Win or lose, that was a great fight.
I don't think this will be the last time we see either one of these young men.
All right, the decision is in. It lies with Colin Cantrell.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards where all three judges score the fight the same, 29-28. For your winner by unanimous decision, Anderson!
Anderson Sellers getting it done.
Some surprise on the face of Spencer there, and interesting scorecards.
To say the least. I gotta use my eraser on my pen as I write down the result. But the Louisiana native gets it done.
I did have it 2-1 for Spencer, but I'm not the one scoring. Very close fight, very difficult one to score. And again, it comes down to, the takedowns, the submission.